The Prairie Field Services safety meeting for the week of July 15th. The safety meeting portion is going to be kind of short because we have some other folks here to talk to you about our 401k and some other things also. Thanks, sir. I'm talking about Benzene Awareness. It's near and dear to our heart because you're always exposed to benzene when you're on top of the tanks there. That you really got to be aware of those out there. And it is that sweet odor that comes about that gets you really dizzy really quickly. So we want to keep our heads away from the hatches when you're opening those and doing them. And it's used in all kinds of things out there, from chemicals, all kinds of stuff, synthetic fibers, rayons, nylons, rubbers. But it is part of our natural gas and crude oil. And when it enters our environment, there are some problems. It can pass into the soil, water sources. It does react with other chemicals in the air, but it does break down in a few days. It can attach to rain or snow, carried back down to the ground, hence some of their term of acid rain and things like that. But it does not build up in plants and animals. But how can we be exposed to this stuff? Exhaust from other vehicles, our own vehicle exhaust, opening thief hatches. It's out there in levels everywhere. Cigarette smoke has it. It can affect your health. It can cause drowsiness, dizziness, unconsciousness. There's been cases of guys falling off of tank batteries because they become unconscious due to the amount of benzene. It does cause all kinds of health effects. It can cause cancer, especially in the bone marrow. Decreases red blood cells, leading to anemia, that sort of thing also. And the federal government has said it is permissible to work around this stuff and have benzene in our drinking water. Up to 5 parts per million, or parts per billion, in our water. And working around it, OSHA says we can work around 1 part per million for an 8-hour shift for a 40-hour week. So it is pretty harmful to us. Long-term exposures, think about those old oil field workers that have developed all kinds of blood disorders and bone marrow cancers. This is what it could have been from. We're still talking about our July safety topic of heat stress management. Let's limit that stuff of caffeine and energy drinks and all that. You know, it is warm out there. We know that the PPE's hot, but you got to wear it. But cool down. Have plenty of fluids. Get back in the truck and cool down if you have to, after you shut down your operation. You can build up a tolerance to heat, but it does take a little bit of time. Right now, our Texas crude, the daily average is 6,793 barrels a day down there. And our water average is 4,126. But remember, that doesn't take into consideration all the service work they do also. And right now, your 2-week average in Wyoming crude is 60,441 barrels a day. Some of the operations notes. We've been going through the Devon training. A lot of guys are deficient for 2019 in Devon. So come see Sierra and we'll get you on a computer back here so you can get it done. It goes fairly quickly. There are 3 modules you got to take. The rough one remembers that one about chaining tubulars and all that kind of stuff. If you reject a load, remember you got to call your supervisor when you reject a load. And that's being dropped quite a bit. Seals and darts, let's clean up everything. Jason just picked up about a dozen seals off of the ground, and we can be fined up to $1,000 per seal left on the ground. So let's get those picked up and make sure darts are in place. Don't forget, even minor spills have to be reported. And it is hot, as we talked about, but our PPE needs to be worn. Sleeves down, all of it in place properly. I'd like to take a minute and introduce Rich Palmer.
Yep, right here, right behind you.
There you are. How's it going, sir?
Very good. Good to see you.
We were doing some things with Rich here not long ago, and we nominated one of our drivers for Shell Driver of the Year. And he didn't win Shell Driver of the Year, but he did catch a runner-up spot. Mr. Ott, would you please stand?
Come up here.
Come on up here, Rob.
You know, I want to take a second and brag about Prairie. I've been assigned to work with Prairie since the very beginning, since they were just a small little outfit in North Dakota, and I've watched them grow to have this great big office and all these employees. So, and in that time, you'll have to refresh my memory here, Alan. We've had, 1 year of Goal Zero? You guys achieved the Goal Zero award. You had a Driver of the Year before, and now another one. And I'd like to say, Rocky, thank you very much.
Thank you.
On behalf of Shell, we have this plaque for you. Shirt and a little bag there. It's a cooler. And what you do every day is amazing. All of you. But I'd like to really thank you in a hat.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate what I get to do. So
Yeah.
works out.
So again,
Thanks again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rob.
All right.
Let's see your plaque, though.
There's also a
Oh.
$250.
Yeah, she got some money too.
We write the check, but Shell gives it to us, and we write it. But $250 is from Shell as part of this award as well. And the plaque.
They said something about you had to buy them all beer. I don't know.
That usually works that way, I believe.
Yeah. So I'm going to get some. So also, before you leave, I'd like to get a picture with you and the management. We also put that in our newsletter that goes out globally. So
Okay.
when that's done, I'll send it to you. It goes out globally around the world.
Right on. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Thanks again.
We recruit them in Africa now.
Yeah.
And then another thing Rich asked for was he wanted, for the last 90 days, the top performer in barrels hauled, as well as the top performer in IVMS standards. So with Robert's new database, it's really quick and easy to find this stuff. Well, our top performer in both categories is the same guy. He's sitting on number one in the company right now with 17,000 miles driven. This is in the last 90 days. 60,638 barrels hauled with 0 IVMS alerts.
That's amazing. If you think about it, he's hauled the most loads
Most loads,
and had no alerts.
no alerts,
So-
and he hauls quite a bit of shell. Mr. Ward, Shane Ward, would you like to come up for us?
I'd also like just to give you this hat. And so just so you guys know, these hats are only given to top IVMS performers and the Driver of the Year. So when you see someone wearing this hat, means that you were a top IVMS performer. So far, I've only given away this is my third one. So thank you.
right.
A gift card.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
No, he was
Okay.
Pardon me,
overall.
your hat security is no better than ours here.
Yeah. What's amazing is I'm going to take this information because I rarely ever see the top performer also with no alerts. So I'm going to put that in the newsletter. Well, I got to give another just quick top IVMS. There's gotta
Let's
be
see
somebody.
if he's in the room here. Kane Cloyd was our second.
Is he here?
I don't see him here yet.
Usually comes that Thursday morning.
Thursday morning ones, but
Okay.
Kane being a newer driver, he's up there in the barrels too.
Okay. Well then,
But 0 IVMS alerts.
zero.
Zero.
Where's he at?
Yeah, he's probably out cruising right now.
Okay. I'll let you give that to him.
Okay,
All right.
but we appreciate you coming in for us.
Absolutely. No,
Thank you, Shane.
Yeah.
Rocky.
I don't get it. I was telling these guys I don't get to get up to Wyoming as much as I used to. All over, pretty much everywhere there we transport a cruise in the U.S. Every week I'm somewhere different. But I can tell you this: I go to Houston a lot for our meetings, and Prairie is always number one in our conversations. That being said, I'd love to see more volume on you guys. It's easy for me to say, you guys are great, but.
Well, you made it happen.
Yeah.
Now you just got to make it happen with barrels we actually
Exactly.
want.
Don't you want some stuff like in the Matrix field, or or how about Signal Hill? More of that? No. Yeah. No, but I truly appreciate it.
Alan, you have anything at all?
No, just some people in the room here. I'll introduce introduce Jim over here. You can say hi. He's an advisor, kind of on the board, so kind of an advisor. He's out of, like I said, in Minnesota, our corporate office, and he's just out here looking at everything, I guess, and working with me a little bit. Did have something else. Oh, it's the birthday thing. So I guess is that you,
Yeah.
I don't know what order
Yeah.
we're going in. So
Yeah, LaDonna, you want to go ahead and
We're
go?
gonna have Cassidy do it.
Cassidy. Okay.
Well, okay then. So we have quite a few birthdays for July. Rhonda with dispatch, LaDonna, Jason Ireland, field supervisor. There you are. Kane Cloyd, Chris Brooks, Jacob Ingram, Eric Moore, Devin Martin, Randy Nottingham.
Thank you.
Sorry guys, I don't know faces yet.
21st
Out of the
birthday?
shop, Miss Summer, Josh, Steve Lamb, Del Bollinger out of Gillette, Darren, I know he's hiding around the corner out of Cheyenne, and James Hayes out of Texas.
awesome. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, guys.
Hey, something that I wanted to point out that I thought was amazing was he pointed out you guys are hauling 60,000 barrels in Wyoming, right?
Yeah.
Roughly. I'd like to say I go, like I said, all over the U.S., everywhere that we transport crude, and I can tell you that is probably the largest amount of crude on one carrier that I found. You know, that is amazing. So you guys work at a place that, everybody wants to have loads and stay busy. That's impressive. So that's a great job.
Appreciate it. It's going well. So last thing is, so HR is here fulfilling promises that we've made, and I'll just turn this over to you, Joellen, if you're ready to talk about that.
I'll turn it over to you.
Oh, sorry.
So sorry.
Go ahead.
I
Sorry.
put it all in the notes for everybody, but the raffle tickets, if you guys want to buy those, for those of you that care to buy them, this is the gun, the cute little used one shot 22. We're wrapping up. This is what we're raffling off. All the proceeds are going to the emergency fund. So $5 a ticket or 5 for 20.
David, before
Brand
we,
new.
Not 25.
before we go on, and just so everybody knows, and so Joellen and so you guys know, there's a live feed. Does it show you how many people are on?
Yeah. We have. We got about 30 online right now.
Okay, so some of the drivers are watching this live that can't be here, just so you're aware.
Sounds good. All right, everybody. Well, it's great to be here in front of you. My name is Sam Rogers. I'm with Northwestern Mutual. As Alan mentioned, there's some talk amongst the employees and some promises made in terms of getting a 401k retirement plan in place. And I've been working with Prairie Field Services leadership probably since about February to get a really well-designed plan in place for all of you when it comes to retirement. So it's really fun to be here today talking with you about it and talking about the implementation. And we're just going to spend a little bit of time going over what the retirement plan is for all of you, the benefit that it is for all of you, the matching component that Prairie is going to be providing, and basically how to get started in the plan. So when it comes to the retirement plan, there's a couple rolling. When it comes to checking your account, when it comes to selecting your investments, that's going to be all done through Securian. And then myself, I'm the advisor on the plan. So any sort of advice you guys need, or basically any sort of broad planning that you guys have, I'm here as a resource for you as well. So again, the plan as it goes for the